Hello boys and girls, it's me Bernie Rosenberg, and this is me with my very first Q&A. I have many interesting questions to answer. First of all, let me start off with a few mentions. The biggest snapping turtle, Lucas Games 1407, Katie McBee and Christopher. The biggest snapping turtle and Christopher have just turned 13. Hope you had a great day with your friends and family. S2 is as important as any other year. I hope you make the best of that and prepare yourself well for S3. I'd also like to give a special thanks to Ellis. Ellis has supported me very well with my YouTube channel. He's preparing a website where all the links can come together for the merch and for the other videos, and he's also suggested that I come up with a collective term for all the people who watch my videos. So we'll come up with that soon, and any suggestion you've got on that, very much appreciated. Thank you very much for that. Jack has asked me, if I were a superhero, what superpowers would I like? And what would I call myself? Well, I would call myself BernieMan. However, the powers that I would have be different from most. For example, it wouldn't be BernieMan can fly through the air, BernieMan can see through things, and when he wiggles his pinky, won't come to kill it. No, I not quite see it quite like that, Jack. That's not my BernieMan. My BernieMan would be known as BernieMan the 1%er. The 1%er? What does that mean? Well, I would have the power to improve the human development of everyone on the planet by 1%. This would mean that all the things that human beings have the power to change and improve would increase by 1%. For example, if our moral and ethical intelligence improved by 1%, then our patience and tolerance of one another would also increase by 1%, and our mutual trust would also increase by 1%, and our democracy would also improve by 1%. Which means our collective and individual decision making would improve by 1%. The world would become a better place due to BernieMan, the 1%er. Amazing Amazons has asked me if I think there are more than 2 genders. He then said, I'm really being serious with this question. That indicates to me that our democracy has a wee bit to go when it comes to gender issues. The fact of the matter is, many people do not easily identify with being either a man or a woman, and this is something we must respect, even if the majority of us do not fully understand where they're coming from. If a reasonable person says to me, someone who I respect, says there's a range of genders, or a spectrum of genders, all the way from male through intersex to female, and this is down to the stages of development of human reproductive systems, then who am I to say they are wrong? Gender fluidity exists and always will. So to answer your question, do I think there are more than 2 genders? Yes, that's a matter of fact. Chris has asked me, CHRZ, Chris has asked me if the world is flat, if the earth is flat. Now, many people are asking this question, and many people are actually beginning to believe it as well. Many people. And that's a bit of a concern now. This is not a question physicists can engage with, because flat earthers say gravity does not exist. Basically what they're saying is there's no force of attraction between 2 separate masses. Flat earthers know that the existence of the gravitational force undermines a great deal of what they say. That's no problem, it simply does not exist then. That's it, it doesn't exist. Now, it's not quite as simple as that though. This is what the flat earthers are denying. Let me get my old pal, the rubber brain. Here we've got my rubber brain on a string, and you can see the string is loose. Now, do you accept that to make the string tighter, I have to pull on the brain? I would think that's a perfectly reasonable question to ask, as I'll do that, pulling on the brain and the string gets tighter. Is there any other way to make the string get tighter other than a pulling force? I think that's no. I don't see how you can possibly make the string tighter unless a pull on the brain. Right. If I let the brain hang, just let it hang, you can see, do you accept that the string is tighter? If you accepted the string is tighter, and if I had a heavier brain I could pull it even tighter, you can see that, you can definitely see it's tighter. If you accept the string is tighter, then you must accept the brain is being pulled. That's the only way we can make it tighter. So the question is, what's pulling it? I don't see anything pulling it, but hundreds of years of thought, thinking, studying forces in motion, we realise there's a non-contact force. There has to be a non-contact force between the earth and the brain, pulling the brain down. And that, boys and girls, is what we mean by gravity. Because of the work done by physicists for many, many years, we can reduce it now to many, many simple arguments to explain the existence of the gravitational force between masses. You might be asking, well, what's a non-contact force? Well, simple illustration. This is a fridge magnet. This is an example of a non-contact force. Watch the magnet pick up the pencil sharpener without touching it. That is a non-contact force. In the same way, the gravitational force is a non-contact force. I am now going to lower an 8 kilogram mass next to the sharpener, and we'll see if the sharpener goes towards it, in accordance with what I said earlier, that masses attract masses. It's not happening, boys and girls. It's not happening. Now you may be wondering, if there's a force of attraction between masses, why didn't the heavy 8 kilogram mass pick up the pencil sharpener when the very small magnet did pick it up? Well, the reason for that is the gravitational force between masses is very, very weak. In fact, it's the weakest of all the non-contact natural forces. And we know that if you've got two 1 kilogram masses 1 metre apart, the force between them is a millionth of 1 unit of force. 1 unit of force is the amount of force that will pick up a 100 gram mass. 100 gram mass requires 1 unit of force to pick it up on Earth. If you've got 2 kilogram masses deep, deep in space, away from all other galaxies and planets, the force between those two masses will be a millionth of the force required to pick up 1 kilogram, 100 grams rather, on Earth. Now, when it comes to the magnetic force is so much stronger than the gravitational force, and this really illustrates it, because if you think about it, the whole of the Earth is pulling down on the pencil sharpener. Bolivia, Honolulu, Russia, Australia, South Africa, all together, Bolivia, all together pulling down on the pencil sharpener. I come along with my tiny wee fridge magnet, like this, and it wins the battle. The mass of the Earth is 5 times 1 million kilograms, and its influence, its gravitational influence it exerts as far as the moon, interacts with the moon, and we also interact with the sun. That accounts for the orbits. If the flat earthers wish to give us another view of reality, their alternative view of reality, and people like Henry Cavendish's his historical experiment, if that's all just a big conspiracy but it doesn't fit their narrative, then I'm afraid that they'll need to do better than that before we start engaging with them properly. Matthew Boy 1888, otherwise known as Matthew Boy 1967, has asked me what my favourite football team is. Now I've got a good idea, Matthew Boy, what your favourite football team is. My favourite football team, well, they play in blue. Now, in 1997, I bought this hat for the Scottish Cup final. The top hat, you can see it's not got a great deal of support. It's been to a few cup finals since then, I should say. Now, what I normally do to give it extra support, I put this ball inside it. Otherwise, it would just flop all over the place. Gotta have a floppy hat in the hands. I'm putting this ball inside it to give that wee bit extra support. As you can see, physics teacher, a bit of rough on this. Hat in the head. And you will see, boys and girls, in 2 seconds, the football team I have supported since I was a small boy. Falkirk. Now at this point you'll all be wondering, well, how are Falkirk doing in the league just now? Well, to save you the bother looking, I've done it for you. As you can see, they've played the first 6 matches of the season and they have got nil points. 0 points. Now to understand why they have 0 points after 6 matches, I've decided to ask Callum Ross, who has a football channel, CR Talks Football. And this is Callum's new YouTube channel, CR Talks Football. At first I thought it was going to say CR Talks Muffins, because we've got quite a lot of muffins in this page. Now what muffins have got to do with football, boys and girls, your guesses are as good as mine, but I'm pretty sure Callum will have a very sensible answer to that. That's him discussing Chelsea versus Man City, an excellent review of that, and that's him discussing an issue with Udinese. In the middle we've got our 5 muffins. Now I'm going to ask him this question. Callum, you're a football pundit, you must be interested in football at all levels. Why are Falkirk so poor this year?